Hey, what's up, everybody? Championship Leadership Podcast. And today we have Cheri Hill. She's CEO of Sage International. She's been a business owner for 26 years, and she helps other business owners be successful in their business, help them to start and grow their businesses as well. So thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So first question I always like to ask my guests is, what does championship leadership mean to you? Like when you hear that, what do you think of?
Well, whenever I think of a champion, I always think of someone who is advocating for others. So, we see this a lot in the nonprofit world, champion for a cause. And I think the same thing applies in business. I mean, I have to champion my employees. I have to champion my clients because I have to believe in them and support them and help them become, the best that they can be. And the only way that I can do that as a leader is to walk the walk and talk the talk. But really, it's always about what's going to help them create success.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And it's always fun because the answers are always different, but they're always very, very well thought out. So what is it like? Tell us a little bit about you. And you've been a business owner for 26 years. You're on this path to help others be successful in business. What has got you here today? Like, tell us a little bit more about you and your path.
Sure. So Sage International, based here in Reno, Nevada, been forming companies for 26 years. So I have an interesting perspective in that because we start businesses all over the country, work with entrepreneurs, investors, professionals, small business owners to really lay what I call put that foundation under their dream. And then I discovered, many years ago that there was a lot of pre-work that wasn't getting done when people were deciding to start a company called business planning. So I taught through the university for 7 years on Next Level for Entrepreneurs, which was a 13-week business planning course. And then, so there's the front end, and then, we put the foundation in place. And then now, guess what? You're in business. How do you stay in business? And so I've spent really the last probably decade really defining, how do you stay in business? Because starting a business is easy, but staying in business is hard. And so the perspective that I have of growing my own successful company and doing, all the things that you shouldn't do, or, what I've discovered is, how not to go out of business, right?
Yeah.
So I teach through a lot of personal experience, and I'm not a coach or a consultant. I really think I'm more of a creative mentor because I can really get, into what's going on, where are you stuck, what are some of the things that, you could be doing on your faster path to cash, and just have some, really awesome success stories over the years of companies that have been started and are still in business. So yeah, that's good.
Great. And so who are some of the, let's call them championship leaders, people that have been made a significant impact in your life, maybe that you've learned from? Maybe what are some of the traits and some of the things that you've taken from other leaders, coaches, mentors to help you become the great creative mentor that you are today?
Yeah, I really, like you, Nate, have spent many years working on myself. And so at different times in my life, I have realized that I had to focus on different areas. And so I have certainly, business mentors. I have people that have really helped me to define on the personal side, how do we create balance? I don't think there is, work-life balance. I think we have one life and we've got to be able to enjoy it fully. And so I have tapped into different mentors, or I go to workshops, or I listen to a speaker. And as long as I can take away one thing that I can implement or think about, I really know that, I've had a lot of help in my life. One of the best things that I've learned is thinking time. And so there's a lot of people that don't just stop and think. And I don't mean think about, where I want to go on vacation. I'm talking about a set time every day where I do nothing but think and ask questions of myself to solve problems, create new revenue streams. What am I going to do? And I think thinking time has been a great value for me that I discovered really about 3 years ago.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah, is this one of those nuggets that you learned from somebody else?
Yes.
Well, yeah, where did you find out about that? I love that.
Keith Cunningham is been a mentor of mine for many years. I've known Keith for years, his books, and have actually gone to Austin and, did some workshops with him. But, he's always cranking out good information. And so that was the latest one that I really found value in. And, he's just a master at really helping entrepreneurs and business owners cut to it. And his latest on, just thinking time, I just found fantastic. So implement it. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing to get the information. It's another thing to actually take it and put it into your life to apply it, right?
Yeah. Well, and after, 26 years in business, you do reach, if you still love what you do, it should be a lot calmer, right? We've made the mistakes. We've, discovered what we're not good at, all those things. And now it's just really, how do I continue to enjoy what I do, be passionate about what I do? So the books or the speakers or the workshops that I attend, change with time based on where I feel like I need more info or more support.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that a little bit. I think one of the biggest attributes of a championship leader is their vision and being able to see where they want their team and their organization, their business to go. And also just the courage to be able to make the decision to take action on that vision. So what about you? Like 26 years in, you've experienced a lot, and where are you headed?
A lot of what I'm doing now is more one-on-one. And so I have, having this ability to really drill down, kind of like what you're doing, but it's one-on-one where I can work with someone and literally in 90 minutes, I can drill down, figure out where are they stuck, where is their chaos, what is something that they should be saying yes to or saying no to, and just really helping them continue to move forward. So it's a really fun process for me. And, because I have this massive network and a lot of resources and a lot of personal experience, the impact is immediate. And people say, how can you do this in 90 minutes? And it's like, because I can. But that's, but I've learned, right?
They probably weren't doing it in 90 minutes on year one, right?
Exactly. And so I'm doing a lot more of that. I call it my Sage Facilitator program, and just the ability to help people. So that's on the one-on-one level. The other is business owners. I do a lot of work with folks that have gone out and formed a whole bunch of companies or entities, not sure how they all tie together. Are they accomplishing their estate planning, asset protection, or tax reduction goals? So do a lot of helping them through the Sage Facilitator program to really get clear on where they're at, what they're trying to get to, and then we clean up or, implement new strategy so that they are accomplishing those goals of building and keeping their wealth. Very important.
Yeah, very important. And, I think that's something that some people might think, like, I want to get to a certain point and then I'll be good. But I think what they don't realize is that the bigger you get, the more risk you tend to have and take on. And it's really just as easy to lose it no matter where you're at. Well,
that's what I say to people. I mean, the more wealth you create, the more other people want it.
Yeah,
so we've got to use the tools, corps, LLCs, trusts, all those things to really secure that you're working so hard to create, but also really thinking about the exit strategy, estate planning, exit planning, all that's going to happen. And so that's what I'm finding really fun is people that I worked with, 20 years ago are coming back around because they've sold that business or they're expanding or they're going off into something new. And so I have built some pretty awesome relationships and my clients always come back. So that's nice.
Yeah, and that's a testament to you and the value that you create and give to others. So what's a moment for you? We all have critical moments or defining moments, turning points in our life where we kind of come to this fork in the road. And, had you maybe went left, you could be in a completely different place than you are today versus, having the courage to go right, which might have been the unpopular place or maybe even the direction that some were telling you not to go, but you did, right? You made that decision and here you are today. Is there a moment that you can think of like that turning moment, that turning point, that critical moment?
Well, it goes way back because I realized very early I'm unemployable. And so, I tried to work for other people and it just never happened. So this isn't my first business.
Okay.
I actually had a chocolate manufacturing business, which was a blast and a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
Not hard to sell chocolate, but grueling, absolutely grueling because I was on the road.
I bet.
Yeah, and so really understanding, and so during the course of, these last 26 years when I have been absolutely challenged or questioning, am I on the right path still? Is, the universe trying to tell me that I should be doing something different? I always come back to that fact. I cannot depend on anybody else. It is up to me to be in control of my finances and how much money I want to earn, and realizing that I am truly unemployable. So it just, makes me grit, be tenacious, persevere, have faith, and continue forward because I love what I do. I love the people that I help. And so, yeah, knowing that I don't have a safety net, Nate, back there of, I can go do anything else. I have to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What happened? What was the big transition for you from the chocolate business to what you're doing today?
It was just like I was on the road. So this was all up in California. That's where I was born and raised. And just on the road at every harvest festival, Renaissance fair, street. And so I was on the road all week selling the chocolate, had the crew making the chocolate. And after 5 years, I learned a very valuable lesson. My partner, which, I didn't know anything about what I do for a living now, entities, corps, any of that.
Yeah.
Came to work one day and she and the bank account were gone.
Oh.
And so that was not a choice. It was, I got a deal. And so from that, I went and did some other things, traveled trade shows for a different organization, and then just decided that, no partners. Except I did start this company with my dad, which is a whole different podcast, but but it's all good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there was definitely a choice there. I think many would take that and be like, I'm just not this whole having my own business thing. Screw this. Like, I'm going to go do something else. But yeah, there was something inside of you that just, I don't know, maybe it goes back to the knowing you're just unemployable. And
I am truly unemployable.
So yeah, that's incredible. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
What are one or two things as we start to wrap this up where you could really leave with the listeners, maybe some guiding principles that for yourself that they could actually take and, like we were talking about, implement into their life today to help them move forward?
Yeah. So one of the things that I really, in all my facilitating or teaching, is I really help people understand that, you've got to have focus. Successful people are focused. And I know that, we're at the end of the year, the new year, a lot of people want to create a lot of goals. And I say, have 3. Pick 3, only 3 each year that you're going to work on and focus on them. Because that's how you achieve, right? And doesn't mean if you've accomplished that 3rd goal in the year that you add another one. No, Now you celebrate, you relax, you do some other things. But I think people overwhelm themselves with trying to do too much. And I can say that now after 26 years, because
Right.
I know in the beginning, we want to build
Yeah. Yeah.
fast. But I say pick 3 goals, focus on those 3, and ensure that you have a healthy life balance as you're doing this so that you're not in overwhelm or overworked or a workaholic. Never have believed in that philosophy that I have to work 7 days a week to build a successful company.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't work weekends, I
Yeah.
go home at 5.
Good for you. I love it. That's great advice. So thank you so much for that. And especially it's very timely too, right? With the new year coming right around the corner. What are a few ways that people could find out more about you, Sage International, and what you're doing and how they can follow you?
Yes.
You have a radio show as well.
I do. So you can go out to the website, sageintl.com. I also do a weekly broadcast radio show, which we then turn into a podcast after, the sherryhillshow.com. You can see all the past shows. And like you, Nate, I interview a lot of different folks that are in business and their successes and things we should know. And also, if you're someone who's thinking about starting a business, I'm a great resource to help you understand what type of entity, where it should be, how it should be taxed, and then we do all the work to get it up and running and in place, and then help you stay in business now that you're in business. So just a good resource for a lot of people around the country. We do all 50 states.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We'll definitely get all that linked up so that they can easily access all of that. And I just appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here with me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Nate. Appreciate it. Happy holidays.
Yeah, you too.